Hey everybody, it's Reed Comics 81 and I'm back with another comic book video. There's a tag going around the community started by Alex the Comic Hoarder, and I was actually tagged by Prowling for Comics. So yeah, he was nice enough to tag me, so check out Prowling for Comics and Alex the Comic Hoarder, two great channels. I'll go ahead and leave links to their videos down below, and this is a video for the top 5 key comic books in my collection. And from the videos that I've seen, it looked like most people were doing a couple of honorable mentions before they dive into their top 5, so I'm going to do that as well. So let me go ahead and get started with my first honorable mention, and this is from 2004. I don't have a whole lot of modern books in my collection, but I love this one. From 2004, this is Fantastic Four number 511. And this is the first appearance of a character called the One Above All. And this is a story that was written by Mark Waid. And I don't want to give away too much of this in case you guys want to read it. But basically, the One Above All is it's a character that looks exactly like Jack Kirby. And well, I guess I just did give it away, right? Sorry. But yeah, the FF, it's been a while since I've read this, but they enter like, I don't know if it's a different dimension or if it's supposed to be like heaven or something like that, but they come across this door that's floating on this chunk of rock, and they gain entry to this door, and inside the door, they end up in Jack Kirby's studio. And he's sitting at his drawing board and he has a conversation with them. And it's really cool because while he's talking to them, his phone rings and he answers. And it's his collaborator on the other end, which is supposed to be Stan Lee. So it's just a really, really cool story. And it's extremely well written too. So this is one of my favorite books in my collection right here. So first appearance of The One Above All. All right, and my next honorable mention is, let me take this out of the top loader so there's less glare. This is from 1956, or I'm sorry, 1955, and this is Red Mask number 51, and this is the first appearance of this character right here called the Presto Kid. And this was shortly after the Comics Code started, and Red Mask, that's him right here, he was a Western character who was all about the gunfighting and everything. So they wanted to get away from all of the gun violence and stuff, so they introduced this character called the Presto Kid. And his thing was he did magic to defeat the criminals. And they're really cool stories. I think there was only 4, this series went on for 4 more issues with the Presto Kid as the star before it ended. And it's cool because at the end of each story, I'm pretty sure, it's been a while since I read these, but they show how you can do like magic tricks and stuff. I'm not sure if it's like the magic trick that he actually used in the story, but they do show how to do some magic tricks in here for the kids. So really cool book and a cool looking character. I love his costume. I just think that's so neat. All right, and that's my second honorable mention. Excuse me. So I am going to go ahead now and dive into my top 5. It was so hard to pick 5 books out of my collection, and these aren't necessarily going to be the most valuable books in my collection or the biggest keys, but at the moment, there are just 5 keys that I found to be like really special to me for different reasons. So the first one I'm going to show is Superman, the Man of Steel, number 18, the 5th printing. We've got the Roman numeral 5 right up there, and we've got the DC logo, DC Universe logo down there in the box. Tough book to find out in the wild. Kind of an expensive book. It's been a while since I looked this up. Might be like a $100 book. But yeah, I think this is an underrated key. First appearance of Doomsday. We all know what went on to happen. You know, Doomsday killed Superman. Such a significant event in comic books. And I love the story behind this. Apparently what happened was the writers of Superman were sitting around and racking their brains for like a new story for Superman. And they had come up with so many stories and everything had already been done. And apparently their running joke was, why don't we just kill him? We won't have to deal with this anymore. So somebody brought that joke up again. They said, why don't we just kill him? And then, like, that time nobody laughed. And they just looked around at each other like, why don't we just kill him? And so that's what happened. So, yeah, Death of Superman, I think, just one of the biggest events in comic book history, and first appearance of Doomsday right there, 5th printing. Okay, and that was from 1992. And to follow that, from 1993, I have Superman 75, The Death of Superman, except this is the Brazilian edition. And I guess I should have put this in a normal poly bag, but yeah, let me hold it like this maybe. I guess like that. So yeah, Death of Superman, this is the Brazilian edition, and I found this book at Second and Charles of all places some years back, and I paid $5 for it. And this is just a really weird book. We've got this black box right there, which I'm not sure if that was what was supposed to be there. The price maybe? Yeah, I think that was where the price was. So that's blacked out. And down here, you've got Portuguese down here. And another thing that's weird about this book is it's a first printing color scheme on the cover, but in the interior, no, wait. Is this a 3rd printing? I don't know. It's either the 1st or 3rd cover, and then the interior, it says like the opposite. Like, okay, this is the 1st printing cover, and on the inside in the indicia, it says 3rd printing or something like that. I don't know. It's just a really weird book. And the advertisement pages on the inside of this are blacked out. They're just all black. So just a really unique comic, and I love finding these really obscure books. And this one is so obscure, I've never even seen another copy of this book anywhere. Like, not in the wild, not on eBay, not at shows. Never seen any mention of it anywhere. There was a Brazilian website that I tracked down, and I did find one other copy of this, but there was just one copy of it. So I'm not sure how many of these were even printed. And as far as I know, if you live in Brazil, or if you're in Brazil, you're not allowed to mail things to the United States from Brazil. So I'm not sure how this book ended up at a Second and Charles in Michigan, but certainly am glad to have it in my collection. Okay, I've rambled on long enough about that. My second book in my top 5 is, let's see if I can get it out at the top loader. Woefully unprepared, guys. This is from 1962, and this is Fantastic Four number 3, the first appearance of their iconic blue costumes. Just a wonderful book. I love these first appearances of costumes, like the first Daredevil. I just love the first costumes that we all know and love, and this is just a beautiful book. Not the highest grade, but presents pretty well, and love having this in my collection. Okay, next up. This is the first appearance of one of my favorite characters in comics. I love Spider-Man, but I also love Conan the Barbarian, and this is Conan number 1. Barry Windsor Smith cover. First appearance of Conan in comic books, and this is from 1970. Beautiful cover, beautiful art. Just one of my all-time favorite characters. Has been for years. I love anything Conan related, and glad to have this book in my PC. All right. And the last book in my top 5 keys in my collection. I've shown this book numerous times, but I could not leave it out of this video. This is a book that I found at an antique mall for $10. Just about crapped my pants when I found it. And this is from 1950, and this is Black Rider number 8, the Stan Lee photo cover. Just a gorgeous book. For those of you who don't know the story, Stan Lee, they were having a photo shoot basically for this cover, and the model who was supposed to do the modeling for the cover, he never showed up. Stan Lee said, "Give me the costume, I'll do it." He put on the costume and grabbed these little toy guns here, and the rest is history. So yeah, super super happy to have this book in my collection. And this is actually the first issue of this series, even though it's number 8. It was titled something else, and that ran to issue 7, and then they changed the title with the next issue, which was number 8, to Black Rider. And I actually just noticed that I do have the receipt that I saved for this book. I'm not sure if you can make it out, but looks like the total says $10.60 after tax. So yeah, one of the best finds of my hunting career, and possibly my favorite book in my collection. So there you go, guys. Again, thank you to Prowling for Comics for tagging me. I'm just going to go ahead and tag everybody who's watching this video. I'd love to see a top 5 video, top 5 key comics in your collection video from anybody who's watching. And that'll do it. So this is Read Comics 81, signing out. Happy hunting, everybody.